Evening, everyone. I hope your day has been well. My name is Monroy, and I'm excited to be running as your Director of Financial Affairs for the upcoming 2026 to 2027 school year. Having been an active intern for several positions, I've seen the challenges of operating on a tight budget, but more importantly, I've learned how to prioritize our spending to ensure that every dollar is directly catered to a specific need. Furthermore, as an intern, I've learned how to plan events and the needs that follow them, beyond just seeing the logistical needs of planning events. And in my previous role of avid club treasurer, I oversaw over 300 individuals and managed thousands of dollars. I managed the funds such as planning and separating how much we should spend on the banquet and our own graduating ceremony, as well as planning the field trips to Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags. Managing large-scale trips to Knott's Berry Farm and Six Flags required meticulous coordination of transportation, ticket sales, and liability waivers for hundreds of students. I plan to apply the same logistical precision to our Friendship Games trip, ensuring that our travel to other campuses is cost-effective, organized, and fully complacent with the university travel policies. This will also include the setting up fundraisers with the fast food trains like Panda Express, Chipotle, and local food spots, and Cane's as well. By navigating their specific portals and managing booking from start to finish, I learned to secure these partnerships efficiently, familiarizing myself with outreach and looking for different ways of getting money for the org. Additionally, I worked hands-on with Google Sheets, meticulously planning the funds we were getting as well as the income being spent, which has allowed me to be familiar with the aspect and behind-the-scenes planning required to keep us moving forward. With that experience, I aim to be the pillar that strives to support PAA in any way, shape, or form, leading with a direct approach. And staying strict with deadlines ensures that we remain in full compliance with university regulations, preventing any funding delays or administrative hurdles. The goal is to balance working efficiently, making sure every planned event is executed cleanly. This focus will allow the club to grow and host even grander events with zero financial stress. I plan to host fundraising events that gets people's attention, such as bingo card dares and Pi the member, as well as rebuild the relationship with the PAA alumni, and continuing that connection as well as the ideas that will continue to help foster PAA's well-being. Besides the fundraising aspect, my priority is to professionalize our financial operations, being with a heavy focus on the financial complaisance, ensuring that every expense strictly adheres to the ASUCM and OCI's expeditionary rules, protecting our standing with the UC. Additionally, I will work in close collaboration with the Chief of Staff to conduct an audit of our current inventory, preventing redundant purchases and clearing out excess inventory, allowing us to use our budget efficiently, moving away from word of mouth and prioritizing documentation. Furthermore, I will allow the budget call as soon as my term begins, ensuring having sufficient in order to meet / message prior and current CAB members. During my term, I would be the person who would not be afraid to say no. Moreover, I intend. Oh, okay.
I motion to move into questions. Oh, sorry. We're going to first escort Jared Gonzalez and Grant Simon out of the room. Motion to move into questions. Your first question is reserved by the current Director of Financial Affairs, Dino, and while she is not here right now, she has sent in her questions, and she has two for you to unravel. Her first question is, the Director of Financial Affairs position is one of PAA's most essential yet challenging roles to fill, given its repetitive and logistical nature. So what exactly is your vision for making this role dynamic and sustainable? And how would you ensure that the systems you build outlast your term?
Can you repeat the last part, please?
How would you ensure that the dynamic and sustainable systems that you build within your vision are going to outlast your term?
I feel like they will last my term because like I plan to like create like logistical like sites, like specifically utilizing like Google Sheets a lot, but as well as like utilizing different aspects, different like of my peers of the financial affairs and getting knowledge from them, and like helping like myself like build upon that aspect, and yeah.
Late's second question is, in recent years, ASUCM has given us less and less money to fund and plan our larger scale events like PCN and Barrio. These events, as you know, are central to the organization's history and campus community. With limited budget for next year and potentially in the coming years, how will you sustain the scale and impact of these events? And how will you advocate for the organization's financial needs in the coming years?
Okay. First of all, I will start off by building a strong rapport with the ASUCM officials at the beginning of the semester by utilizing data from previous years, specifically looking at the success and attendance of each event. With that, I can present a high impact assessment that proves why I continue to like support Barrio and PCN deserves the maximum amount of funding. I will uphold like the visions of both Barrio and PCN by prioritizing the cultural core of each event, like the traditional costumes, the scripts, the choreography. With less money being available, we can like also ask like to borrow equipment and like other organizations and implement like creative solutions.
Hello, Alan. Hello, Alan. I'm super proud of you. So you mentioned in your speech that you wanted to collab with Chief of Staff with inventory. So can you elaborate more on your approach with that?
Yeah. I would like to like see the spreadsheets, and the like specific like expenses we spend of each thing. Like for example, for like, I know like for we had like lays, and I want to like see how much lays we have like specifically, so then I could like coordinate. So I like coordinate and know like how much we have, and then if I have like anything like, any like excess of anything like that we don't really need, I will like just like try and like get rid of it, and like just like to open up more room for like things we could like use like the space for.
Hello, Ellen. Great speech. Just a very simple question. Why financial?
Mm. I don't like. I chose financial because I know like how important it is like to help. Hold up, sorry. Because Paw to me is like a big family, and I want to be able to support that family. I want to make the club strive. I want to be able to like help fund like grander events without like having to worry about budget. And I want to make everyone's like experience like really well known, so then they can also grow as a people, but also collect more people in general, and like help like expand the club and like create new friendships, like turning like strangers into friends and things like that. That's what I want to join. But I also want to be the pillar, like to help support anyone in need. Like if anyone like needs help with I don't know, let's say like just planning in general, I would love to be there. I would love to be there and just help like coordinate, because I'm more like behind the scenes, and I could get things done either quickly or quickly or like swiftly, and concise. If you give me a specific deadline, I would love to like achieve it before even the deadline approaches. Yeah.
Hello. Hypothetically, an event is predicted to go over budget. How do you approach this? Sorry. Hypothetically, an event is predicted to go over budget. How do you approach this and ensure the event stays within the budget while also meeting the needs of those in charge?
Give me a sec. I would first like coordinate the like needs. The needs up first. The needs first. I would break the problem into like the categories. Like the essentials, the important, and like the things nice to have. I would first break things up, and then only like make sure like the things like the essentials are already filled, and the needs are already also filled. And then for the things nice to have, I feel like I will like cut some of it off. I'll cut some of it off because there's like kind of not really unnecessary. And I would honestly say like no. I say like notes like, oh, you need to like be in this specific budget, and help like being concise and strict.
Hi, Alan. Hi, Alan. Congratulations on presenting. My question for you is also similar to what someone has asked. PA hosts a lot of different big events that often require a lot of money that ASUCM doesn't necessarily provide sometimes. Other than fundraising, you talked about wanting to help positions thrive without struggle. What specific plans are you planning to implement to ensure that each position is able to accomplish their goals while being realistic with the money they have?
I would first in the beginning semester, I would first like plan already. I already first plan, especially when my term starts, because my term starts around like January 1st, I believe. January 1st, and from there I would just plan and see like how much like each event should have. Like I would get an idea, and then of course I would like continue to add to the spreadsheet, and like spreadsheet of like the things like we already have and things already. And from there I would just split it like equally, or like maybe a little bit less like one event if it doesn't need that much money, and just continue to like just spread things like equally. But personally, that's the goal.
Hello, Alan. That was a great speech. I have a question about, like, as an example, FG39, which you were not in attendance for, but I can explain the situation. How would you manage any issues with an unpreventable things such as it was a hotel situation for FG39 in which we scheduled a hotel, but they didn't actually have our reservation, and then we had to go book another hotel for a much more cost, a higher cost.
I would first look like how many days like prior would I like know? Would I know like when I get there or like when?
We literally arrived at the first hotel and they told us we didn't have a reservation there, and we had to like scrounge up like funds from cabinet members, and we had to move everybody to a different hotel and pay for it.
Okay, I would first ask the alumni. I first ask the alumni, see like reach out and see like if anyone like is willing to donate. But also like would try and like if I have like any extra funds in the budget, I would like try and like push it towards them over there to like help with like the hotel cost. But I'll also like try and find out like local like sources I could like money like fast, I guess. But yeah.
You mentioned in your speech that you plan on maintaining an active or sustaining our alumni network. While that isn't necessarily lined out in your role as per the Constitution, I'm curious as to what that plan is and what it entails.
Honestly, my plan for that is to like just continue to like help like communicate with people, because especially with like graduates now or the graduates that's gonna happen, I would love to build like connections. So like always like just mainly emailing like, oh, how are you doing, or something like that. But also like try and like go to previous alumni as well, and just continue to like connect with them in general to make sure like they don't really drift off. But also like so I have like close relationship. And my plan is to like just like emails or just on Insta. Be like, oh, hi, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good, or something like that. And then just reach out like if they want to go to any events. Be like, oh, we would love to have you. Have like drafted like little message and like just send it to them. And then I feel like that would just like benefit everyone in general.
Hi, Ellen. Really good speech. As people have mentioned before, financial is a very like logistics-focused role, and you're very involved with the internal process of hosting events and ensuring that that whoever's hosting them has enough resources in order to make them happen. But you do make a lot of decisions behind the scenes. So, what traits do you think make up a good financial leader?
I feel like good traits are like someone who like could oversee and document the PAA funds. I also feel like someone who like could coordinate fundraising programs and events with like related committees. I also feel like someone who's like able to like search around, find grants. and find like more grants and alternate funds for like PAA, like both within the school, but also like externally as well. Whether that be like locally around Merced, or maybe more farther away, kind of like in SF. But I also feel like it's also like someone who's like manages like the club dues and is like prepared and like able to maintain like the membership documents. So like someone who's like really organized, someone organized and coordinated, and like who isn't really afraid to like be strict, like say no when it needs to be no, and then at least when it needs to be said, and like someone who's like able to like keep everything like all together, make sure nothing gets lost. Someone's like who has everything, all the documents, and someone who's also like more put together.
Hello, hashtag. Hello, Alex. Good job. Sorry, Alan. Oh my God. Sorry. Alright. What was your moment that led you to come to the decision to run financial?
My aha moment, I guess, was I was like, I feel like the club needs something, like someone to like with experience before, but also like know that it's a really important role, and I wanted to like of course like be there. And then I was either debating on running between social or financial. I was like, which one does the club need more? And I feel like financially, I feel like it needed more, and that's why I chose that.
Hello, Alan. So my question for you is that our dues are the majority of what funds our events. However, some people might not be too inclined to joining a PA because our dues might be too high for them. So what is your approach to making our events more affordable?
Like what kind of specific events? Is like just comping in general, or like?
So our dues mainly go to Compi, to Le PA. That's why certain events are only for paid members only, but our prices might be too high. So what is your approach to lowering our dues?
My approach, realistically, I would try to like just fundraise more, but also like set up like more like merch, like maybe like stickers, but also like more ideas, but also like running more like stands, like my idea was like just like to run like a matcha stand or like a boba stand, because although like the initial cost is like kind of high, I feel like that would bring in like more money than like the expense. And I feel like with like the more money we get in general, it's gonna lower the cost of everything, and that's gonna like just really spread throughout like the club fees and how people like more incoming members like have lower club fees.
How do you plan on creating a work-life balance for yourself, because you are a college student with academics, and if you have any other commitments outside of PAW?
I plan to at least schedule everything in general. Like in my Google Outlook, I would schedule at least like a specific day or a specific time to like organize my thoughts, organize like PAW related stuff. I would like keep track of everything and be like organized, have my schedule organized. Like this day I will focus on this work, and this day I would just focus on PAW. But also in clubs, I would be like, oh, this day I will focus on that club. So just setting myself a schedule, and then letting the weekends like need be. Maybe like if need be, I'll be like I schedule a meeting of like just that in general, like the weekends, because my weekends are pretty much free, and my weekdays are the only thing that are busy. So that's what I would do.
Why should we vote for you and not your opposition?
Ooh, I feel like you should vote for me because I have prior experience, of course, with outreach, and also like I'm now to like manage more funds, or manage like high amount of funds and spreading it all equally throughout. But also like could search for things around like from more fundraisers we could also join. But I also think you guys should vote for me because I want to do everything I can. I will put in as much work as I like that's required of me, and also like how much I could afford to like maybe like make the club strive. And I just really think that that's why.
How would you describe yourself as a leader?
Ooh, I feel like I could alternate between. Okay. I would describe myself as someone who's like both direct, but also like someone who's like more like shy as well. Cause I could work behind the scenes, but I could also alternate into like someone who's loud, says what needs to be said, and that's how I describe myself as a leader. Like I could lead when need be, but I could also like just stay more back, like not really talk, but also just do anything required, make sure like everything's done completely and nicely, and just in general. And I want to like, hold up, sorry. Yeah, I want to be like also understanding, cause I'm an understanding leader. Like I'm like, oh, okay, you guys do need this, and I'm also resourceful. Yeah.
If a major financial mistake happens under your watch, what is your immediate response and long-term fix?
Big financial mistake.
Like, for example, if PCN goes over budget for the speaker, or if they go over budget for buying props or something like that.
Okay. At first I would like kind of trying to like, put myself together, keep myself calm, but also like just help like talk with like the PCN coordinators to see like why this happened exactly. So then I like will learn not to do this like in the future as well, like to like help plan accordingly. And my long-term like plans would be just like I guess like just help fundraise more, help fundraise more, and to hold up and to like ask around and just keep on looking for grants, because I know SSIJ, so like the multicultural center that gives out grants, and also like ASUCM is also giving out grants. So I would for sure want to like ask them if they could like provide anything, and yeah.
Paul Cabinet has a history of asking for reimbursement, which is when the cabinet personally pays for things, and then they have to go through a process to get that money back from the club and school. However, this is heavily discouraged, so how would you approach this if cabinet members continue to request for reimbursements?
I'll be like, no. I'm be like, no. Like, we need the money. We need the money to be on track and to make sure like everything's like just all works together. I'm like, oh no, sorry, but we can't really afford, or else like the other things would take a hit, and that's just gonna ruin the club in general, or at least damage it like really, like what no one really said. That's what happened.
It's well known that our CMCD members need to be paid members before performing, and that's within any capacity, if that's PCN or Barrio, or for another Words Culture Show. What is your action plan in ensuring that all CMCD members are paid for in a timely manner?
I would set a deadline. I would send out a deadline to like the the CMCD's coordinators, so they could like inform their like the people that are in CMCD like, oh get your dues on time or else you cannot perform. And I would be like, if someone who doesn't like really pay the dues, I'd be like, no, you can't join. Sorry, you can't join. You haven't paid yet, and we need that to like help run the club.
MJ, do you have a question? Does anyone else have any other questions? Please raise your hand high. I motion to end questions.
Second.
Thank you, Alan.